Let's solve some problems here. The formula for the volume V of a sphere with radius r is V equals 4/3 pi r cubed. If the radius of a baseball is 1 1/3 inches, what is the volume to the nearest cubic inch? We are already given here the radius, which is equal to 1 1/3 inches. Then we can directly solve for the volume by just plugging in the value of the radius. So that would be V equals 4/3 pi, and the radius is 1 1/3 cube. Since the radius here is in mixed fraction form, we might need to write this into an improper fraction, so it would be easier to get the cube of it. So 1 1/3 is just equal to 4/3. Therefore, our volume would be equal to 4/3 pi times 4/3 cube. And 4/3 cube is just equal to 64 over 27. Then we can multiply 4/3 and 64 over 27. So our volume would just be equal to 256 over 81 pi. Then we can reduce that and we can use the value of pi, which is equal to 3.1415. So the volume here is just equal to 9.93 cubic inch, and it says to round this off to the nearest cubic inch. So our volume here is approximately equal to 10 cubic inch. So the answer here is letter C. What expression must the center cell of the table below contain so that the sums of each row and each column are equivalent? So we're given this table here. Since it's stated here that the sums of each row and each column are equivalent, therefore the sum, we have 3 rows here. This 1, 2, 3. And we also have 3 columns. Therefore, the sum of this is just equal to the sum of this and this one. And the sum of this one is equal to this and this one. Now let's find the middle term. Okay, now adding up all the terms in row 1, that would be negative 4x plus 9x plus 2x, and that would give us 7x. And it says that the sums are equivalent, therefore the sum of row 2 should be equal to 7x too. Now we can solve for this term here, this one. Let's say this term is equal to y. So we can group like terms here. 7x minus 3x, that is just 4x, plus y equals 7x. And then subtracting 4x from both sides. This would give us the value of y, which is equal to 3x. Therefore, the value of this missing term here is equal to 3x. So the answer is letter G. Point A is to be graphed in a quadrant, not on an axis of the standard xy coordinate plane below. If the x coordinate and y coordinate of point A are to have the same signs, then point A must be located in. So we're given here this Cartesian system. We have the x and y axis. So point A has a coordinate of x, y. So the x coordinate of point A will be positive if it is to the right of the x-axis, and the y coordinate will be positive if it's above the x-axis. So in a Cartesian system, the plane is divided into 4 infinite regions, which we call as quadrants. So we have quadrants 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. We know that here, the value of x here is positive, as well as y. So they're both positive. Here the value of x is negative and the value of y is positive. And on the third quadrant, both the x and y coordinates are negative. And on the fourth quadrant, the value of x is positive, although the value of y is negative. So in this table shows the sign of x and the sign of y in the 4 quadrants. The question is the same signs. Which quadrant where point A have the x coordinate and y coordinate the same signs? So we have quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. Therefore, the answer here is letter E. Quadrants 1 or 3 only. Reggie knows how to make 5 different entrees, 4 different side dishes, and 6 different desserts. How many distinct complete meals, each consisting of an entree, a side dish, and a dessert, can Reggie make? Now, to find the number of distinct complete meals that Reggie can make from 5 different entrees, 4 different sides, and 6 different desserts, we just have to multiply the quantities in the 3 different groups together. Let's say this is our diagram. For every entree, there are 4 side dishes, and for every side dish, there are 6 different desserts. So we just have to multiply, 5 times 4 times 6, and this is just equal to 120. Therefore, there are 120 distinct meals that Reggie can make. So the answer here is letter J. At a bottling plant, 10,000 liters of carbonated water are needed to produce 3,000 bottles of soda. How many liters of carbonated water are needed to produce 750 bottles of soda? Now, to solve for the number of liters of carbonated water needed to produce 750 bottles of soda, we just have to set up a proportion with ratios of liters of carbonated water to bottles of soda. So that would be 10,000 liters of carbonated water is to 3,000 bottles of water. And we let X be the volume of carbonated water needed to produce 750 bottles of soda. So that would be X is to 750 bottles of soda. And now we can solve for the value of X. So we multiply both sides by 750. Then we have 10,000 times 750 over 3,000. Therefore, the value of X is equal to 2,500 liters. So the answer here is letter C. If a rectangle measures 20 meters by 48 meters, what is the length in meters of the diagonal of the rectangle? Let's say this is our rectangle and this is the diagonal of the rectangle. it's stated here that the measure of the shorter side is equal to 20 meters and the longer side is equal to 48 meters. The rectangle here is cut into half by the diagonal, therefore it forms two right triangles. And then the two sides of the rectangle here are the legs of the right triangle. Therefore, the diagonal here is just the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So if this is the half of our rectangle, so this is the base of our right triangle, which is 20 meters, and the other leg or the height is just equal to 48 meters. And now we can solve for the hypotenuse or this side, which is just equal to the diagonal of the rectangle. We can use the Pythagorean theorem in solving for the diagonal or the longest side. So that would be c squared equals a squared plus b squared. So c is just equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Then we plug in the values of a squared and b squared. So that would be 20 squared plus 48 squared. Therefore, c is just equal to the square root of 2704. And the square root of 2704 is just equal to 52. Therefore, the value of the diagonal here is just equal to 52 meters. Therefore, the answer is letter F. For all positive integers a, b, and c, which of the following expressions is equivalent to a over c? Now, to find an equivalent expression for a over c here, we can either multiply or divide both the numerator and denominator by the same value. Because the question asks for all positive integers a, b, and c, and we are looking for an expression that is equivalent to a over c. Therefore, we just have to multiply a over c by b over b, because b over b here is just equal to 1. Therefore, we get an answer which is equal to a over c. Therefore, the answer here is letter A. What is the slope-intercept form of 6x minus 2y minus 4 equals 0? The slope-intercept form of the equation of a line states that y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Now we need to rewrite this given equation here into this form. So that would be 6x minus 2y minus 4 equals 0. And then we transpose 6x and negative 4 to the right. Okay, let's just subtract 6x from both sides. So we have negative 2y minus 4 equals negative 6x. And then we add 4 to both sides. Then we have negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 4. And then we divide both sides by negative 2. So we have y equals 3x minus 2. So this one, the slope-intercept form of this equation here is just y equals 3x minus 2. Therefore, the answer here is letter H. Which of the following is the solution to the equation x squared plus 25x equals 0? We're given here a quadratic equation. Then to solve for the solution of this equation, we just have to factor out x here. So that would be x times x plus 25 equals 0. And now we can apply the zero product rule by equating each factor to 0. So we have x equals 0, or x plus 25 equals 0. Then we subtract 25 from both sides. Therefore, x here is equal to negative 25. So the solution could either be 0 or negative 25. In our choices here, we don't have 0, but we have negative 25, so the answer is letter E. For the right triangle ABC shown below, what is tangent B? Now to solve for the tangent of angle B, that is just equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. So the opposite side to angle B is just equal to C, and the adjacent side to angle B is equal to A. Therefore, tangent B is just equal to C over A. So our answer here is letter J.